the closest watch on, because those were the heirs that had the right to take everything from the enemies that's squatting on the land as a military occupational regime masquerading as our government, right? So when we assert our birthright, it don't matter. I don't care if I don't know none of my ancestors. I know who I am. And I know where I'm from, first in time, first in order, right? I'm the firstborn of the earthborn parthogenic son of the great mother. So whenever it get out of control and can't nobody fix it, mama call her baby boy.
Okay.
So if they don't know what that means, they better go ask their Masonic brothers. Because they gonna tell him, if you telling me if he's saying that what he told you, that would mean Hiram is raised and he's walking. They don't know who Hiram is. The Masons know what I'm talking about, right? Because Hiram Abiff, the master builder, is the one who have to exhume the great mother from the shrine of the Black Madonna. Why do they call it that? Right? He in the tomb, she in the shrine. That's a 2-bar cane in a 4-corner shuffle. That's a 7-sister seal, Pleiadian knot. This is all code that we all used to know when we have meetings with each other on foreign parts of the land that we ain't from as a visitor. But now it sounds foreign to our people when you're using a foreign language, but you're using our code to talk it. All of the lodges know what's up. I don't care if they don't never show up. They know what the real deal is. They know that they came over here messing with these feather-wearing Afro chiefs, and they got their tails handed to them. Right? Tupac talk about it all through his music, but don't nobody know what he's saying in the code talker language, but they know what he's saying in English, in the colloquial language of the hood, but he talking code talk too. Biggie was too. ODB was too. These chiefs. But they can't come up through the traditional leadership roles because the leadership roles been usurped. And anybody that try to rise up in politics or anything of that matter, activism, is murder. And if they figure out that we talking to each other, they gonna try to murder us until one of us claim the birthright before they can murder us. Now they gotta listen to them even if they don't want to. And the process is to look up Pretender to the Throne. There's a process as a pretender to the throne you have to go through to claim your throne. If you don't know what the process is, and it's above your pay grade.
Right.
Over here, the chiefs have a certain way to raise a chief to prominence. If you don't know what it is, that's above your pay grade. Your spiritual rank ain't high enough to know what's going on. So now you're running around using what the paleface told you in the book as your source. And the worst of the misleaders is they look like us. Because the people we fighting the whole time that brought all of this war to our doorstep and swore to never surrender and hold us as our eternal enemy, we didn't swear no ill will to them people. They done that to us. Our big mamas took them in and fed them when they came on them ships. And what they do? They massacred us. And then they told us it was somebody else with a pale face. The original French, Dutch, Portuguese, and Irish that came over here, they wasn't buttermilk complexion. But we don't know that because them the lies they tell in the books when they rewrite history. She have to learn how to read her emotions, and she'll have a literal blueprint to ascension. Most women, the ones that they call toxic, don't learn to read their emotions. They use their emotions to fly off the handle about whatever it is. When your emotions giving you more information, once you learn how to read it, it's a navigation system. Another thing is talk to your uterus. If you a woman, clasp your hands together over your uterus. Close your eyes, relax, and just say, Big Mama, tell me whatever I need to know. It's Jesus on the main line because Jesus is Isis. The main line is the uterus. It's a portal of life that's only seen in creation. So if it's a portal, it don't matter what your skin complexion is now. Once you got that uterus on earth, you have power to talk to prime source if you tap into that energy, right? Another thing is raise your vibration by not feeding into low vibrational activity. You start to walk in what's called your earth angel form. And you can tell the women that do that because they can be old as hell, but they still look like a teenager in the face. She like a gray-haired teenager, right? Because they take care of themselves spiritually. In that spiritual light, it corrects the beauty flaws, right? So you have to also be aware of the fact that when you ground in with the earth's mitochondrial is talking to the mitochondrial in the woman. It's y'all trading information on birth defects, how to get rid of them. Y'all going over how to manage the Y chromosome. All this is taking place in the mitochondrial communication between Earth and women. The Y chromosome is a mutation. So it has to be regulated by something that's not mutated in order for it to have its optimum performance. And that responsibility goes to the mitochondria while the woman is gestating. And this is why she don't always make every Y active. And sometimes when it would have came in as a boy, she overrode it and said, nope, the DNA is faulty. This one's going to have to be a girl to correct the error. This is all done within the woman. In the uterus, between the uterus and the Queen's chamber in the brain, where the pineal glands sit. The understanding of the self, it gives you the highest access to your power. And when you realize that y'all little earths walking around on earth, but you're also children of the stars, because everything in creation is made up of accumulated stardust. That's how we got here. That's what makes things solid. The accumulated stardust. It forms into our soils and our rocks, and it eventually bursts out as flora and fauna. It's the women who decided how to decorate Earth with the different flora and fauna. Or else we'd have just had one bland, uniform plant for everything that don't work for everything. The diversity came from interacting and communicating with people from other places to put the proper flora and fauna. That's how come the women knew. If you go back and listen to Credo Mutua, he say it was our mothers who went out into the field and tested all of the plants to determine what was used for healing and what was used for killing, right? Because some plants will kill you dead and some plants will make you whole. But you got to know the difference in the ones. And the women was the ones who came up with herbology. They was already here doing herbology before they decided to produce a Y chromosome.
Yeah, sure did.
So your first medicine man was actually a medicine woman. Your first shamans was actually a priestess walking the land. Some women is so disturbed in the self, they supposed to be by themselves. This is why you always got the story of the old lady living in the woods in a little hut by herself. They call her the witch of the woods. But she just was too volatile to be in the community, so they kicked her out. Her energy was pure chaos. The women didn't allow toxic women to infect they clan. That's not the man's job. It's the women's job to oust the rotten rogue women. And it's the men's job to correct the bad men. So part of their system is stopping the good men from correcting the bad men with the force of the government. You have endocannabinoid receptors in all your organs, all through your brain. The endocannabinoid system is the glue or the link between your spirit body and your physical body. The shaman's been aware of this for thousands of years. Western science is only just now discovering the endocannabinoid system. The marijuana chiefs is the ones that use it for psychic facilitation, to allow your psychic senses to become active, because the world around us is at a stress level that it drowns out your psychic voices in your head. So the ganja is one of the methods you use to break down the surrounding environment and to enhance the internal dialogue. We've been doing this for thousands of years. This is not new to us. And also, if you remember, every time they went to go sign the treaty, they had to smoke the peace pipe. Why? Because the ganja make you a built-in lie detector.
Good point. Yeah.
So if they come in with the treaty and they telling us it mean one thing, but it means something else, and you make him smoke that ganja, he can't lie to you. Especially when you put him in the middle of 2 or 3 chiefs, because they standing on truth. And the lie becomes almost impossible to stand up in the presence of truth. So you smoke the ganja to make the psychic sympathetic link. So when he started to tell that lie, you can say, you're going to turn your mouth to tell me that lie you about to say. I already know. That's when they came up with the term pale face speak with forked tongue.
Mm.
That don't mean he lie. But everybody think it mean he lie. It don't mean he lie. It mean he's talking for 2 people. He talking for himself, and he talking for the one sinning. That splits the tongue. So the chiefs knew this. So he tell Paleface, what do you want versus what the people that had sent you want you to have. This is how we was able to get Paleface to assist us in every time we tried to rise up. We was facilitated by pale faces, and we was cut down by chocolate nappy-head Negroes.
Mm.
Then Mark Vasey, he was assisted by a pale face who died with him. Gabriel Prosser was assisted by a pale face. Nigga told on him.
Well,
So everywhere we go, COINTELPRO, the Panthers was infiltrated by nappy-head Negroes.
That you right about that.
The Nation of Islam was infiltrated by nappy-head Negroes.
shame.
Didn't no paleface infiltrate the nation. And this is how you know that when they killed Malcolm, paleface didn't want nothing to do with that. Because he knew that's the wrong one for us to touch. Let them ones that's telling us to kill him, kill him. The French told us when he tried to land in France when he was going to Mecca. When they said, we don't want your blood over here. We don't want no parts of that. And Malcolm knew he was being followed over there. Nation of Islam wasn't following him over there. Who was following him?
Mm.
There was those people that look like us that's running everything behind the scenes. They control. Everybody think that the CIA, the KGB, and the Mossad are different organizations. They are the same. They want us to pay attention to the war in Gaza. Why? It's a distraction. It don't got nothing to do with us. The first thing we got to realize is the same chocolate complexion, nappy head Babylonians is the same ones infiltrated them. was the same ones that infiltrated us.
Skin
If
folk
we
don't make sense for
if
it.
we don't never put that together, we won't understand, because it was the scramble for Africa under the Berlin Conference that divided that landmass up and drew the name Africa, which is an Arabic word, ifraka, which means to divide up. They named it that because of they didn't name it after Scipio Africanus. They didn't name it after Leo Africanus. It's named after the events of the Berlin Conference in Arabic, because it was some dirty Moors behind the whole thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So look, when we went into the war using catch terms to classify groups of us. The catch term Moor, if it's encompassing more than just one group of people.
Right.
This is why we say righteous Moor, dirty Moor, because it was under the banner of Moor that we was fighting the Conjure War, the 200 years war of George Washington, where it was challenged to bring a ceasefire to the Gullah Wars, for the Mississippians to go into a Conjure War against those ones from Europe that got exiled. There wasn't pink people getting exiled out of Europe in the Spanish Inquisition. They was exiling the Moors. In the French Revolution, they was fighting the Moors, the black nobility of Europe that lived in Switzerland. You can't live there no more. Ain't nowhere safe for them nowhere on the planet. Right? They done turned the militaries of all of the countries that's fighting for freedom against the cabal. The same ones. It's an ancient royal family, right? They've been doing this for years. Their time is up. They had 6,000 years to run their tyranny. It's over. And I'm the last chief to come and say it's over before y'all see the result of it being over. The DNA is the biggest fraud of this century. It's for entertainment purposes. The people that run it tell you it's for entertainment purposes only, and that it's not accurate. The only DNA that's real accurate is parental determination. They don't test the same amount of genetic material to find your ancestry that they do for parental verification. And it's easier to find the markers of a parent than it is 10 grandparents back. Right? So every child got 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great grandparents, 16 great great grandparents, 32 great 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 grandparents. Okay, now which one of them from Africa? And then what happened when they amalgamate with the dark-skinned, woolly-haired tribes of this land? How much DNA material is expressed in 10 generations? See, the royal families of the earth understood what the European didn't find out until the development of what's called the Habsburgs gene and the hemophilia, or the hemophiliacs that caused the War of the Roses. They didn't know that you have to marry into different royal families of the world if you're going to be having incest, or else the genetics will become corrupted. So what did we do? Princesses and princes from over here was chiefs and junior chiefs was marrying in Africa all up and down the seaboard of the eastern coast, all in the islands. This is not new, but they want us to believe that we just started encountering each other in 1492.
Right.
But Ivan Van Sertima wrote They Came Before Columbus, that shows you our interaction with peoples of Africa long before Columbus sailed. Right? So we already know historically we have royal families over here marrying African royal families on the eastern seaboard. The western seaboard, we have records of marrying Asians in trade across the Pacific to diversify the genetics. This is why we look so many different native appearances. And this is why when they brought their slaves, they was able to send them to Indian school to impersonate us. Because some of us look Asian. Because we had Asians in our blood. This is where we all got Lee in our name from. Verdi Lee, Arthur Lee, Henry Lee. Right?
All
And
different.
right. The name